Coming back up from apathy and surrender leads one through some very, very strong emotions, especially if one has been lying on one's back for quite a while. Yeah, when I come out of apathy, stop dying, and think of what has been done to my life by criminal police officers, Crown Prosecution Service officers, or as we call them here, Procurator Fiscal. Why do we call them by names that we do not understand, so the whole society is trusting someone whose post title they can't even understand to represent justice in the land? Anyway, so my story involves corrupt police, prison officers, social workers. Now, there are two kind of people involved in my case in any of these offices. There are those who have knowingly and deliberately committed offences against myself, justifying it like any Gestapo or Mafia does by claiming that my activities break their rules. So it's okay, you know? Just depict me as some sort of drug-crazed loony, and therefore anything is possible. You can do whatever you like to me, because we don't want the society filling up with drug-crazed loonies, do we? Yeah. So I've been defamed, and I've been robbed, and I've been falsely incriminated. I've been imprisoned. I've had all my possessions taken from me. The video recordings that I had made on my cannabis research have all been disposed of. The material on my hard drives in my computers and video camera, which they don't intend to release to me for another year, even though I was found innocent of the charges on which I was arrested, and there was absolutely no reason to accuse me of having improper material on my computer. Why does it need to be wiped clean? Is it because of the recordings I made of the police officers who were harassing me in my own home? Could be because they repeatedly ordered me to turn the camera off, telling me it was a crime to film what is happening in my own house. I've done considerable research and can find no act of parliament which makes it illegal to video whatever you do in your own house, unless perhaps what you do is a crime. That is, if you're going to commit a murder in your own house and video it, yeah, you could say that video recording it is a crime. That's the only reason I can see for destroying the truth of what I've been doing with my life, is to conceal the crimes committed against myself. But these silly people in Strathclyde do not realise that they are actually wiping the carefully condensed and edited product of my 25-year research campaign into cannabis, marijuana. Now, you can have any opinions you like about cannabis, marijuana. You can accept the bullshit put out by London that it makes you paranoid or psychotic. Bullshit. You can believe what you like. However, it's totally legal and acceptable to disagree with a man's opinion, but it is a crime to silence that opinion by force and crime. Is it not? Yes, it is. Anyway, rather than whinging, I should indicate to myself that I've done a remarkable job yet again in surviving a scurrilous scheme I don't know who all is involved, but I know for sure that the women who came in to befriend me and offer me a happy, innocent life from there on, Jason Preston, Nicole Saunders, whatever her real name is, I don't know if she's a police agent, a government agent, or just a criminal who happened to pick on me at the same time as DC Francis McKee and Detective Sergeant John Matheson and the Procurator Fiscal that they have been working with, and the sheriff that they've been using on my case. I don't know how far this goes, but these people have robbed me of my life. Oh, I have advisors who say, don't stay in depression, just get over it and get on with your life. I have been robbed of my life. Get on with my life. What do you mean? Stumble along to collect my repeat prescription. Get on with my life. What do you mean? Get into my motorhome and go and travel all the areas in Britain and Europe that I have lived in and had friends, and then go travelling to areas that I have not seen which seem interesting in my motorhome, and settle wherever it seems to me my nature is telling me it is a good place to settle. Well, that's what I wanted to do. That's what I've been wanting to do for 10 years. Just take my inheritance, convert it into a motorhome, travel around, meet old friends, make new friends, and then decide what's best to do from there. I did not want to get involved in a 7-year debate with Strathclyde police as to whether or not I'm a dangerous sex offender. Really didn't want that. Really didn't want to be having to report to a police force that I do not trust exactly where I'm going to be staying every night, who I'm associating with, what I am doing with my time. I do not like having people come into my house whenever it suits them, just on the off chance that they might catch me doing something wrong and thereby prove that area accusations were true. You see, now if I get hauled up in front of my unfavourite sheriff, the charges could be read out. He has gone back to his drug abuse, for example, or he is drinking heavily, or he was involved in a noisy incident. Oh, so he's reverted back to his bad ways. Well, it's irrelevant. All he will go is, I told you that you are only on community service as an alternative to imprisonment, and he will send me to prison, where obviously my freedom of speech will be once again severely curtailed. Prison is terrible. It's absolutely horrible. There are a lot of men in there suffering that shouldn't be. There are a lot of men in there that are not guilty. There are a lot of people outside prison guilty of crimes, including getting someone else to serve the time for their crimes. Well, it's just to me, it's just coming up for 10 minutes, so I'll stop at this and say, what does it sound like?